find a song this week.
God Save the Queen was the alternative national anthem. What we offered to England was a pivotal point. We were the maypole that they danced around.
2, 1.
I'm Justin. That's James. Final episode of our Sex Pistols. How much price can a band pay for one album of music? This is comparable to the freak out of Elvis in the 50s in the United States. It really is that kind of moral panic. The Queen died this year. Did you watch any of the footage, James?
Didn't we fight a whole war to not care about that shit anymore?
Yeah, with you. Yeah, to me, I don't really care. I only care in the sense that it's important for this musical moment. She was the inspiration behind one of my favorite songs, one of the best punk songs of all time.
Yeah.
And what the Sex Pistols went through to make this statement is very inspirational.
Virgin Records signed them, and Johnny Rotten got to record his Queen's Jubilee memorial song, God Save the Queen.
We're better to celebrate the release of God Save the Queen than down the Thames and start playing outside the Houses of Parliament Day on Jubilee Day.
I just wanted out of the country, and there was no way out.
Ever get the feeling you've been trapped? This is a scene, the whole thing. All of this is bullshit, isn't it? Well, I've had enough of your bullshit.
The Sex Pistols' current record, God Save the Queen, is at number 1 of the Capitol headline today. But the IBA, which administers the Broadcasting Act, has advised us that particularly at this time, this record is likely to cause offense to a number of our listeners, and have asked us not to play it in our normal programming.
God Save the Queen was never number 1. There was no number 1 that week. Whatever we were saying,
yeah, just pretend that it doesn't exist and it'll just go away. Like, what the hell, man? Wow. That's hilarious to me. We'll just cover that up there, and it doesn't exist anymore.
There was no number 1 that week.
Wow, man.
Right.
Denial just ain't just a river in Egypt, I guess.
Alright, here we go.
Nerve. Completely from there on in, walking around the streets of London on my own was impossible. I would be attacked on sight. You felt like a werewolf being like hounded, constantly in fear of your life, really.
God Save the Queen, eh, John?
I got a machete blade ripped down this leg, and the blade stuck in my kneecap, and they couldn't pull it out, so I had to walk off with that. I got a stiletto blade from my wrist here. Lucky not to have had one of my eyes gouged out because a bottle was shoved in here. Got to the hospital. First thing they do is call the police, and I get arrested. We declared war on England without meaning to.
He's lucky. He's lucky to be alive. He's
Yeah.
lucky to be alive. I mean,
And of course, the first thing they do is call the cops. You know what that reminds me of?
Oh my God.
It reminds me of Beverly Hills Cop. I got thrown out a fucking window.
Oh, I gotta splice that clip in somewhere.
What kind of shit is this, man? Hold up, wait a second. You guys are arresting me for getting thrown out of a fucking window? I got thrown out of a window, man!
Like, what happens if I get hit by a car? I get arrested for jaywalking?
Let's see the song that was worthy of killing somebody over. God Save the Queen.
You don't write God Save the Queen because you hate the English race. You write a song like that because you love them and you're fed up with them being mistreated.
love that he's being funny. Because tourists are money! Like that kind of stuff.
I wish the bastard's dead.
I really don't think what he was singing about was that outrageous. He's not saying that's killer or that's fucker. He was pretty much pointing out what the truth was.
His head, man.
They alienated the entire country. If they'd have hung us at Traitor's Gate, it would have been applauded by 56 million.
Talking about how surprised they were about the reaction to the song because
Steve
he wasn't saying let's kill the queen. Yeah, it was like just pointing out what was true, and that reminded me of something I heard once that's really stuck with me. Is this, the things that make you the most angry are the things that you know are true. So it seems like seems like it fits really well here. The reason everyone's so pissed at that song at that moment in time is because they know what he's saying is true. Deep down, they know it and they're not ready to face it.
I think I was too damn close to the truth. Young and naive and all of that, and probably not getting it completely right, but hello, far too accurate for the establishment to tolerate.
It's still a sweet song too, man. It's got it's got a good flow to it.
It's the perfect punk song. It's the perfect punk song. Like all the elements that punk does well are there. It's all right there. There's nothing more iconic than that song in the punk field for me. It really is. And Johnny Rotten's vocal performance on it is absolutely perfect. It sounds like he's smiling at the right spots when the line's supposed to be funny, and then the anger comes out the right spots, and he's saying words that it's sarcasm. God save the queen, wishing her well, but with that snarl, you can't mistake what he's really saying. That's clever, man. Clever.
Yeah, I'll still say Anarchy in the UK.
That's your
more iconic.
That's your top one.
That's
okay.
Yeah, when I think of Sex Pistols, it's that opening line.
Hey, I won't argue with it.
Yeah.
For me, it's God Save the Queen for sure. But I mean, they're both iconic.
I still can't believe there was no number one that week or month or whatever it was. It's just like, come on, man. It's just, to me, just goes to show you're not ready to see the problems yet. If you're not willing to admit that a song you don't like is number one, then you're not ready to live in reality, and you gotta go stay in your go live in your dream world, and reality will catch up with you sooner or later.
How did punk live on as this ethos, this attitude, and they take it so seriously? And It's because this band paid such a heavy price. If they hadn't squashed them like that, I'm not sure Punk would have been seen as rebellious, which is part of the appeal. If they had just let them play, probably would have broke up in 6 months. No one would remember. Their efforts to suppress, it's what made them so infamous, which got them more press. You can't squash this. It's like the more they squeeze them, the more kids were starting to go, well, wait a minute, I like that song. Why are they doing that to them?
It's weird, right? Like it's totally counterintuitive, but sometimes if you really don't like something and you just ignore it, you know, and or not ignore it, but just don't pay any mind to it and just let it be, it disappears on its own. But the more you resist against it, the more you fight it, the stronger it becomes.
I'm Justin, that's James. Have a good one, y'all.